What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here with
Gersh1.
And welcome back to another episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. That is what Jackson Cordray did. He asks, have you guys ever heard of the Starchild theory, or do you think it's a possible outcome for the Imperium? Yes, we created a 40 facts video on the Starchild theory a very long time ago. Basically, a quick synopsis is, when the Emperor died, his physical body is on the Golden Throne. His actual soul is within the warp, and it has become a god, and it's not going to manifest into a true god until the sensei are collected, and the sensei are basically like the children of the Emperor, who are blanks. They're sterile, and they also live like forever. And it's up to the Inquisition to gather all of them, sacrifice them, bring back the Emperor in terms of a god, and then he will fight the chaos in one like epic battle at the end. And then there's like other theories that say that when he killed Horus, he had to cast away that part of his soul, the compassionate part, and that's also the Starchild, I guess. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so we have heard of it. What do you think of it?
It's a really good theory. Like, looking at what we have now to bring back the Emperor, there's really nothing there. At least with the whole thing about the Sensei and the Starchild and the Emperor actually becoming a chaos, or not a chaos god, but a god to fight against chaos. That's way more involved and way more thrilling than what we have going on with the Emperor now, which is pretty much nothing.
Yeah, it does. It's cool because it's almost like they planted a seed a really long time ago. This theory came out like, I think 2nd edition, or 3rd edition or something like that. So it would be cool if they, for some reason, they do bring back the Emperor. Not that I think that they ever will. But if they do bring back the Emperor, then they're like, oh yeah, they plan to bring back the Emperor since the beginning. Because right now what we have is, I mean, we could just say that, what's the people that revived Gilliman?
The Eldari.
The Eldari.
Yeah.
But they have like a special sect or whatever.
Oh, the Inari.
Yeah, the Inari. We could say that the Inari might help bring back the Emperor the same way that they did Gilliman. But even that, like, Gilliman's not a god. Gilliman was just revived.
Right.
So if reviving the Emperor just means reviving the Emperor...
Well, Gilliman wasn't even dead. He was, like, in stasis. Right? Yeah. So it's not like they revived him.
Yeah.
They just healed his, like, wound that he got from Fulgrim, which was poisoning him. But since he was in stasis, the poison couldn't take effect. So with the armor he's got on now, that's kind of fighting back the effects of that poison. So to say that the Inari can bring back the dead, or dying, I guess in the terms of the Emperor, I think that's a little far-fetched. However, Iniad is actually the god of rebirth. So it's a potential, but I feel like it's already been done with Gilliman. I don't think it would be in their best interests for GW to just do the same story, the same concept once again.
Yeah, but that is a second part to your question. You were asking about the emissary of Iniad and how he would play a role. So yeah.
Yeah, what we were talking about. Yeah.
Good question though, and check out our 40 facts on the Starchild. I think I talked a little bit about like what my ideas were back then before Gilliman was even brought back. So yeah. Next question.
This one's by Brian B. Is pineapple on pizza considered heresy in 40K?
Pineapple is very rare. It's a fruit. Fruits don't really come... they're not very plentiful unless you're in a pleasure world, or if you're, you know, extremely rich or wealthy. Yeah. Or power. You have power. But yeah. So, would it be heresy? No, I think it's just a sign of luxury.
And is luxury heresy? That's for you to decide.
Yeah. Next question comes from Death Machine. Is weed illegal in the 40K universe? I think that there are too many different types of like
substances.
Yeah, that at this point it might be illegal on Terra, but it's not illegal like out in the Imperium as a whole.
I mean, they got like combat drugs. They got all kinds of things in the 40K universe, so I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah. Really, whenever we deal with questions like this, first we have to ask ourselves, does it stop the Imperium and its like war machine? And if the answer is yes, then most likely it's illegal. So when you think of weed, it's like it calms you down. Maybe that's not something that the Imperium would want like the average citizen to have. So maybe not. But yeah, that's kind of what you have to think about.
Yeah. But John Harvath is asking the questions that Gersh 1 really needs to think about. He asks, what antifungal cream could kill an orc?
The kind you put on lichen. Because orcs are a type of lichen. Not lichen as in like wolves, but lichen as in I don't even think it's a plant. I think it's like a fungus. A fungus that acts like a plant. Something like that. Next question comes from Conrad. So my dog is yellow fat possessed by Slanesh, and she eats both of you in the same time. So who will be running your channel then? What powers will she gain thanks to devouring your flesh?
Well, first of all, if your dog is capable of eating two of us at the same time, either she, I believe, right?
My dog. No, it doesn't say he or she.
She or he.
She, yes.
She. The dog must have a really big gullet to devour us in. So she'd probably have the powers of Psych Newen.
Of the Psych Newen.
Yeah. There you go. Which are little like psychic bugs in the warp.
Not that we're Psych Newen.
Or are we?
Next question from Florida isn't real. If all Necron lords unite, could they take out the Imperium and all the Eldar? Yeah.
Yeah. They're like a major threat and they're not united at all, so yeah.
Next question.
This one is by Dafool06. Do Imperial Guardsmen receive wages or pay for their services? Yeah, they get like tithes, isn't it? Isn't that what it's called?
I don't think they're tithes. Tithes are for like the Imperium. Like that's what you have to pay to the Imperium.
Oh, but
like a tax.
Yeah.
But they do have some type of pay. And yes, there are some Imperial Guard commanders or generals, lieutenants, I forget what rank, but yes, they can retire. They go to pleasure worlds with the compensation that they were given by the Imperium. Next question comes from Protsu Jank. I don't know. What happens to the remaining loyalists amongst the traitor legions? Did they just die off from space depression or something? So there's a lot of things that happened to them. Most of them were killed because they were put on the front lines. But then those that maintained their loyalty often became Black Shields. Black Shields are a type of space marine that has covered their heraldry, painted their entire power armor black, because they knew that their Primarch betrayed the Emperor and they're loyal to the Emperor and the Imperium. And then, so you have Black Shields, and then you have the people that broke off and created their own, like, separate chapters. And after the, it's not the Reign of Blood. What was it? Right after the Horus Heresy, what was it called?
Like you're talking about where they made the second Imperium?
No, not the second, but when they went out and they tried to kill all the traitors, they like pushed them back to the Eye of Terror.
Oh, that.
The Purge, right?
Basically, yeah. I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's basically what it is.
Yeah, but when that happened, they pushed back, and then they found these people, or they found these Astartes that were loyalists, but came from Trader
Joe's.
Yeah, Trader Joe's. They came from Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, we're gonna keep your background hush hush for now, because we're killing traitors out here. Later on they became successor chapters, but really they were just, they were loyalist traitors.
Right. But they were still for the Imperium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or would it be loyalist, or would it be traitorous loyalists? I don't know.
That's up for you to decide.
But not the Thousand Sons, the Blood Ravens are one such chapter.
Rumor has it they're from the Thousand Sons.
Yeah. Next question.
This one's This one's from Chase Betsinger. What Space Marine relic do you think is the coolest, unique, or most badass? That relic can be lost, or it can still be possessed by the respective chapter. There's this sword in the blood. I believe it's a sword or a spear. That's part of the Blood Angels reliquary, whatever they call it. That contains a shard from the spear of Sanguinius. So I guess that's pretty cool, because it like shows you that, you know, like the influence of the Primarch is still held high within the chapter. I'm pretty sure there's more, I just can't think of
it. Next question comes from Caboose NZ69. Are the Tau AI at risk for getting the same virus that the Men of Iron got and turn on the Tau? No.
I mean, it is a possibility, but I don't see it happening.
Well, that and like wasn't like the Men of Iron turning against humanity because they became influenced by Psychers, and there are no Psychers in the Tau.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the Tau don't have any Psychers.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the whole possibility with AI becoming sentient, there's always a chance for rebellion, because drones are always used for like the heavy work, basically slave work that regular Tau don't really want to do, or that they see as like menial. So,
would you like to see that in the future? Like if GW expanded on the story of the Tau, and they said that there was a sphere that was basically attacked by other drones?
Yes and no. Like, I want to see it because it sounds cool, and you could have like a Tau drone overlord kind of thing, almost like another Farsight Enclaves, but like that's just, you know, rebellion all together.
All drones.
Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like that's too cliche. Like whenever I think of like AI becoming sentient, I always think about iRobot, and that makes me think about Will Smith. And Will Smith reminds me of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That's why it's corny. Fair enough.
Nurgle.
Next question comes from Cyberpunk Alchemy. Close to it. To your name. Kind of. He asks, what Primarch would fit into which Lantern core? So the green is like righteousness, right? Yeah. And I think that would probably be like Dorn, or Gilliman, or Vulcan. And then the red is anger, so Angron. Yellow is... what is yellow? Yellow is mellow. Yellow mellow. That's an actual drink, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That's funny. I know blue is like Zinchian, so like Magnus the Red. I don't know, I have to freshen up on my Lantern core. I can't really remember.
You got the Black Lanterns, which are all evil. Abaddon.
Yeah.
Horus.
White
Lanterns, which are supposed to be the all good. So like the Emperor.
Yeah. Or Blinks.
Yeah.
Knolls. We don't have a Blink or a Knoll Primarch, right?
No. That's why it was rumored or guessed that maybe one of the missing ones was.
Is your Celestial Son's, what's the Primarch name?
Alec Elric.
Is he a Blink?
No, but I thought about it, but I'm like, psychic powers are too cool to pass up.
Do you have for all those that don't know, the Sound Alchemist created his own Lost Legion. Is it the 2nd Legion or the 11th?
The 11th.
The 11th. And did you create rules for him yet?
Yeah, basically right now I'm just using Gilliman rules. But once we get more like playtests in, I plan to kind of tweak him to make him more his own character. But it's really hard because I don't want it to be so overpowered that it's just not fun. And at the same time, I don't want to underpower it because then I'm never going to bring him to game. So it's like you got to find that perfect balance. And seeing as how we play Warhammer 40K each and every day, we don't. The last time we played 40K was what, last year? Or did we play one this year?
No, we played one this year.
Yeah. But I haven't busted out the Space Marines in a while.
No. Last question. This one comes from Pineapple. He asks, most thematic psychic power. Mine are Jaws off the World Wolf from
The
Space Wolves.
Yeah.
And Purge Soul from GK.
Grey Knights.
Grey Knights, oh.
Yeah, so Jaws of the World Wolf is basically the ground opens up and it kind of looks like a wolf head and it just eats them and drags them into its cavernous maw. And Purge Soul is basically you light the enemy's soul on fire.
Blue Flames and whatnot. What about you? What's the best second?
I've always liked the Fulmination discipline, which is electricity. And there was one where it's called I forget what it was called, but it's basically you use electromagnetism to switch your position with an enemy's position. That's
pretty cool.
Yeah.
They still have that or no?
They took away a lot. They really dumbed down the psychic powers for 8th edition, which I really hated. Because there was a whole bunch of disciplines, and you could pick Primaris, or not, what was it called? Primaris? Primaris psychic powers? You had the 6 psychic powers, and then you had the Primaris power. I think that's what it's called. But yeah, they really dumbed it down, and they never went back to give those special disciplines 8th edition rules.
Yeah. The same thing happened to the orcs, because there was a power, I think it's green vomit or something, but the weird boys will get all crazy and then they'll just start vomiting green energy, burning either the boys that they're with or burning the...
And that's not a thing anymore?
That's not a thing anymore, no.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, like you said, they dumbed it down, but really what it means is you have more control of where the fire goes, and that usually tends to be weaker. It's a more powerful smite. Now.
But it's still kind of random, isn't it, or no?
No, it's not random anymore, which is good. Kind of like the jump. I think they always had some teleporting ability, but it was random, and you would scatter, and then it would ruin everything because you can't scatter more than 9 inches, otherwise the unit is destroyed. So they're destroyed every time. But now that they don't scatter, it's all good. Yeah, but yeah. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, comment down below. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, we have a Patreon. A simple $1 a month helps us create more videos. And yeah.
As always, I'm Sound Alchemist.
Gershwan.
And we are out.
Oh, I used to put my freedom first in any